to my first class. This is Kiss Yoga, and I have to thank Goodwood Museum and Gardens for sponsoring this and helping out and making this all happen. This is awesome. Morgan, my only rule is, since you're new, and I'm not picking on you because we're all new, each day is a new day, but my only rule is no pain. So that's pretty easy. That means you can do what you want, do what feels good, and that means you might do what I'm doing. It means you might not, and that's okay. It's okay in this class. There is non-competitive, no judgment. I'm going to encourage you at times to close your eyes, and that way you're not focusing on what everybody else is doing, but you're doing your own thing and feeling each movement. And we're going to start by just shaking it out. We did this Tuesday. We're going to just get that connective tissue moving. Whatever feels good. And when we're through doing or whatever, you don't have to make noise like I do. I just have fun making noise. We're going to find our feet hip bone width apart. If you feel unsteady, you can move them wider. If you really want to challenge yourself, I don't recommend this on a thick mat. You can bring your feet together. That's what I did in my youth. I now choose steadiness as I gracefully age. Okay, so one of the things we want to look at is our shoulders. And I have a tendency to be slumped shouldered, round shouldered, my hands in the front. So let's go ahead and move those shoulders. I'm just rolling them back since mine pitched forward naturally. And then I'm going to stop and hopefully find my hands at my sides or a side seam. I actually have side seams today. The other thing we want to think about is our head, and just going to show you, demonstrate what happens. If the chin has a tendency to press forward, we're going to tuck it back, and that gives us a little more length in the back of the neck. It maintains the natural curve, but it puts our ears or earlobes or earrings or not over our shoulders. And then I'm going to invite you, if you're comfortable, just close your eyes. If you're not comfortable, maybe half masked. So just a soft eye staring at a neutral space on the floor. And just notice, begin to notice as we check in, we let go of what happened before we got here. Everything that happened until this very, very moment. We feel our feet connected to the ground. We notice if there's any thoughts, call that the monkey mind, the thought, the brain likes to talk to you silently. We'll just kind of let that drift away. As long as we don't attach, thoughts will come and go. We bring our awareness to the nostrils. And we see without changing our breath, if we can feel the inhale and the exhale. You might feel it at the tip of the nostrils. You might feel airflow at the back of the throat. You might notice a little movement in the torso, a little rise and fall of the chest, or not. It's okay, it's all good. You can't get it wrong. There's no perfection. It's simply a practice. Then I'm going to invite you to lengthen and deepen the breath. And we'll try to use our nose unless we're congested and we need to mouth breathe, we can, but We're going to inhale perhaps to the count of 4. We're going to count in our own brain. We're going to pause at the top of the inhale for a count of 4. If you need to release earlier, you can. And then we'll exhale through the nose to the count of 4. As we exhale, we draw in that lower abdomen and the ribs compress back. As we inhale to the count of 4, imagine breathing into the bottom ribs. The ribs expand first, then the belly. We pause to the count of 4, unless that makes you uncomfortable. And again, we can adjust as needed. And then we exhale. Gently drawing in that lower abdomen first, feeling the ribs collapse. One more time. Or not. Or not means you have choices. I love having choices. I give that to all my students. And I invite you to slowly open your eyes. And let's begin to we're going to do something that's going to affect the brain on both sides. If you're comfortable, if your mat's not thick, if your mat is too thick, you might want to step off. We're going to inhale. We're going to bring one arm up and one arm out to the side and maybe come up to the balls of our feet. And as we exhale, we'll bring them back down. Of course, we get to change. We're going to find a drizzy, a focal point. That will help our balance. We'll pretend like a string is holding us up. And we'll come back down. And again. So we're growing tall. We keep that chin back. And back down. One more time. We're going to do this both sides. Since we have 2 sides, we're working both sides of the body. Last one. And back down. I'm going to spread the feet out a little bit wider. So maybe the edges of your hips, and we'll begin to just do a very gentle twist. Maybe lift the heel the opposite of the direction that you're moving. Maybe let the head go, maybe let the eyes travel. Unless it makes you feel dizzy, just settle down and keep the head straight. We're just going to find what works for us today. Just finding some ease. And then we'll pause. We're going to go ahead and find maybe even a little wider stance, but this time the toes are going to be to the front, the heels directly behind, or they can even splay out towards the edges of the mat, whichever feels best. And we're going to do a flow of vinyasa. It just means a flow. It's going to be a nice slow flow that we connect our movements with our breath. And take our arms out. If the shoulders hurt, you can do teacup arms. But for now, if this feels okay, let's roll those shoulders back. We're creating space between those earlobes and our shoulders. Take a nice inhale, comfortably deep, and as we exhale, we're going to teeter-totter to one side. Inhale up. And you're going to flow with your breath. If your breath is shallow today, you might be going a little faster than me. Inhale up. And do this one more time, both sides. Moving with the breath. Let's come back and let's try closing our eyes. Or not. Soft eyes, can't close them. And just feel the body in space, moving in space. We can open our eyes when we're finished, and we're going to exhale. We're going to go cross body and down. Are you feeling feeling it on the inside of the opposite leg. We'll inhale up. Exhale, cross body down. Don't have to go far. Be careful putting any weight on the kneecaps. They might be above or below. Inhale up. We'll do this another time. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down, other side. Inhale up. And just for giggles and grins, let's try it with our eyes closed. So nice inhale. If it makes you feel off balance, please open your eyes. Exhale down, closed eyes. Just feeling, proprioception is the name of this. Feeling the body moving in space with the breath. We inhale up, we exhale down. Ah, nice. And then release those arms to your side. This time we're going to turn the heels in. We're still in a wide-legged stance. We're going to bring those hands to our heart. Anybody feel the beating of their heart? We'll do this again. If you don't feel it now, you will. I promise. So let's go ahead and we're going to pulse. We're going to pretend like we are carousel horses, and they don't typically go this way and that way. So we're just warming up the insides of the legs. And the reason we do this is to help support the knee. We need the strength on the inner legs to support our knees. Oh, anybody feeling it yet? Oh yeah, okay, feeling the burn. All right, let's quit burning. Ah, anybody feel their heart? Okay, good. We're all breathing? Yep, oh good, okay. So we're gonna inhale up. We're gonna exhale. We're gonna bring one hand in front and we're gonna turn our head that direction. The other hand is behind. I'm gonna inhale up again. And exhale, go the other way. So the other hand comes in front. One and back. The hand in front is where we're looking, and if you're doing it opposite, have fun with it. Don't have to look like me, don't have to do everything. There's a method to my madness. We're getting a little work in the head, in the neck. And we're developing focus. It's really hard to talk and do this, I promise you. And last one. When we're finished, we're going to turn the toes to the front. Step into mountain. Mountain or Tadasana, which is the Sanskrit word. It's a foundation for all yoga poses. And we're going to look at our belly. I tend to be sway back. So I'm going to tuck in my abdomen, my lower abdomen. I'm going to make sure that my hands are by my side, not in the front. One way to do that easy is just bring your palms to the front. That immediately opens those shoulders. It flattens the shoulder blades in the back, and imagine them gliding into back pockets. So let's just, if you're comfortable, chin tuck back, close the eyes, and notice any energy flow. Body, just for a moment, be checking in, making sure we're okay. Trusting our balance to stand. Oh yeah. And then we'll open our eyes again. We're going to step back this time. Doesn't have to be far. We're going to be doing a little flow in a warrior one. When we step back, the back foot is at like a 45-degree angle. We're going to be bending our knee, but let's just play with it. We'll bend our knee and make sure the knee ideally stacks over the ankle. We can even turn the big toe in just a little bit so that the knee is going towards the little toe. If this doesn't feel comfortable, you can step wider. So, and for those that really want to challenge themselves, you would just step back further. Gosh, I hope, yeah, I'm grounded, okay. I like it shorter, feels better. Okay, so we're going to start with the front knee straight. We're going to bring our hands to our heart once more. Yoga is a loving practice. So, as we inhale, we're going to bring these goalpost elbows and arms back, and we bend that front knee, and as we exhale, we'll straighten. We're going to work with the breath, moving at our own pace. And this time, let's just check and make sure we can see maybe half of the foot and all of our toes. A little peek down. And we're going to add on. We're going to inhale up. We're going to go into a full warrior one. And as we exhale, we're going to bend from these hips. Nice long back. We can place our hand anywhere other than the kneecap or to the floor. We feel a nice stretch in that spine. My knees still bent because my lumbar area is fused. I cannot keep my legs straight. If you wish to, you can, instead of a bent knee, you can straighten your leg. If it doesn't make you dizzy, maybe crown of the head to the floor or not. Anybody feeling their thigh? Yeah, we need strong thighs. Okay, let's get up. So inhale and bring that abdomen in. We're going to exhale, hands to heart. We'll do this one more time, and then I promise we'll go to the other side. We're going to inhale and bend that knee. Goddess, goalpost, whatever you want to call it, arms, cactus. Exhale, straighten. Inhale, up. Maybe gaze up this time. Exhale, we're going to reach and fold forward, nice long spine. And we won't stay here this long since we stayed for several breaths the last time. If you want, and it's a little easier, you can just place your hands on your thigh and lift from the breastbone up. Or you can inhale, engage that lower abdomen, and come all the way up to warrior one. And exhale, hands to heart. And let's take a little break before we move to the other side. So when we're holding positions in yoga, we're building strength in the body. And why do you think we would want to have strong legs? We need strong legs to get up and out of chairs. We need strong legs if we were to fall and have to get up off the floor. And this is especially important as we age. Okay, so we're going to find mountain again. Oh, we're aging gracefully.
These are the young students back here.
Oh, I know. Emotionally, I think I'm about 15, 16, and somehow I look in the mirror and go, ah, what happened?
I was going 12.
Oh, you're going 12. Okay, good. Okay, so we're about the same age. Oops, you can't do that when you're filming. Okay, so this time we're going to do the other leg, and I was trying to do it for the camera because we're also zooming this. We're going to take the other leg and go back. So the opposite leg, you should know which leg by now. You did, okay. If you don't, you get to do it again. The same leg is going to be really strong, but we want to balance the body. I typically like to modify and widen this stance. You'll see in picture books, young people where the heel is in line with that heel. That's really hard on that low lumbar, so I like to ease it up a little bit. So once again, we'll start with our hands to our heart. Straight leg, inhale. We're not going to bend like this. Nah, it's not good for the kneecap. So we're going to just shorten that bend. Exhale, straighten. Inhale, bend, and open. Nice job. Awesome. We have such an awesome group of people. Much love here. So you know we get to do the next one. We're going to go in, up, and fold. Again, if it feels better, you can put your hands here if you don't want to go all the way down. Also, if it makes you dizzy, it sometimes helps to keep the head up with the chin lifted rather than the crown of the head to the floor. I'm grateful I don't get dizzy. We also want to take just a moment and feel, I'm really keeping you in the pose longer, balance between that front and that back leg. We want some weight on the back edge of that back foot and heel. And again, if we want to come up, we can come up this way. to lift, or we can come up this way. Inhale up, exhale, hands to heart. One more time. Inhale, exhale. Inhale up or not, exhale. Really feel the stretch, stretching out, especially that low back. Feeling balanced between the two legs. Inhaling up in any way you want to come up. Exhale, hands to heart, step together. And shake it out a little bit. For me, it's a little bit of walking. I'm blessed with arthritis, both types. So I'm still interested in building strength in my body, but it's very important, and it's also important in yoga, to find that balance between effort and ease. Okay, so standing balance pose before we come down to the floor, and boy, is it going to feel good when we come down, I promise you. You're going to be going, ah. Okay, so in a standing balance pose, again, we're going to remember that Tadasana, that open chest. We're going to think about lifting from the sternum, lifting from the crown of the head, but with the chin tucked. We're going to find a focal point, that drizzy. For me, it's about halfway across, just so that my head can stay in this position. I'm not looking down, I'm not looking sideways, not looking at the teacher, you will fall. I'm going to shift all my weight to one side, like you were standing at a bus stop. So you really get your weight over there. We bend the other knee. We're going to bring our arms out to the side, and these are what I call our balancers. Feel free to use it if you feel like you're losing your balance at any time. Come over to a chair, or Dennis, anybody want a chair right now? Is everybody okay? You can also go near a post or the wall. Okay. So we're here, we're gonna keep these arms out. This bent knee we're gonna lift. We're gonna lift it up. We're gonna bring it out to the side, and we're gonna flex that foot. Everybody okay so far? We're gonna bring the arms up. We're gonna flap those hands back like we're carrying a tray of goodies. Yummy. Yes. How's everybody doing? You feel like you're losing your balance, you just simply touch down, lift again. May look like this. May look like this. Whatever feels good. This is if you really want to play with it or not. Just saying. Okay, so let's place our hands on our legs. Let's see. We've got a nice long back. And let's shift some of the weight onto the balls of the feet and kind of stretch out those hamstrings. Just for a moment. We're in a half forward fold. Then we're going to relax those knees. We're still with our glutes going out. Buttocks. And then we're just going to straighten and bend, straighten and bend. And just kind of loosen up those hips. Before we get to this particular pose that we just did, this balance pose, is called Ganesh. Ganesh is a goddess from ancient Indian times. And then coming up. If you feel okay, if you need to shake anything out, you're welcome to. You can pat yourself down. Get that connective tissue going again. Okay. Shifting once more. Getting good posture, growing tall. To that other side, I like to have the arms out for balance. And this may be all you want to do today. That's okay. No judgment. Absolutely no. But I like to lift and then out to the side and then flex. If you want to touch your body, that's fine. That's a treat pose. But this is just a little different. Bring my arms up a little higher, maybe goalpost, and maybe, woo. Notice, is one side a little harder than the other? Laugh at yourself. This is funny. Okay, see? All right. Let's take a minute to come back into Tadasana before we come down. And let's find our breath. We at least myself, I'm out of breath. And normally I don't need a drink, but for some reason, I think it's the filming part. Makes me thirsty. Okay, so let's find, and we're gonna do something that'll help us find our breath so that we're not laboring. Now, does anybody feel a little warm? Yeah, we built a lot of heat in the body. So we're gonna inhale up, and as we exhale, we're gonna bring one hand down and the other. And maybe look at it. Inhale up, and switch. You do it this time, we get to practice again. Try to remember. Might want to exhale to the mouth. Or not. And last one. So with our hands by our side, we're going to do one more thing before we come back down to the floor. We're going to take one deep breath, and as we do, we're going to inhale these shoulders up towards our ears, and you won't hear that often in yoga, because you usually want to keep space. I'm going to go ahead and do that, and when we exhale, we're going to go, ha. That's awesome. Yeah. Let's do that again. Close your eyes if you want. Just play with it or not. You know what we're doing? We're inhaling up. We're pausing at the top of the inhale and then exhaling. Oh, come on. We can go louder. I know we can. I like number 3, the spiritual number. One more time. One more time. Inhale and then exhale. Let go. All stressors. Just feel it. Just gone. Absolutely gone. Okay. So we're going to come down to the mat. I'm going to step to the top third of my mat. I'm going to inhale up, and I'm going to exhale. I'm going to swan dive, but I'm going to bend my knees. Really kind of grab the elbows for just a second and stretch out that low back, reset the low back, and then hands to the floor. I'm going to step back, one foot, then the other, and go into what's called downward dog. So the sits bones up towards the ceiling, or not. You don't have to go here. I like lifting on my toes just for a little fun exercise. I'm going to look between my hands, go into plank pose. And I'm going to do a pose, and I'm going to suggest alternatives. We're going to do a sleeping pigeon pose. I'm going to bend my right knee, bring it behind the right wrist, and slide. And I hear the groans already. If you're tight in the hips, this is difficult. This is pigeon. And we want to think about lifting, bringing the chest forward so we don't crunch those lower vertebrae. Sleeping pigeon, I'll give you some other suggestions. You come down, and if the head doesn't want to come to the floor, you just do 2 fists on top of each other. If you find yourself in the owie, not a sensation, but an owie, simply bring that heel closer to the groin. It'll take away the tension. If you need more stretch, you just wiggle the foot more, to the toes more towards the top of the mat. Or you can do forehead to the floor. Now, another version of this, I'm going to show it on your back. Still lay on the ground and bring one ankle to the opposite thigh. And that may be as far as you want to go, but it's beginning to open up those hips, the hip flexors. It's pretty stationary. You can stay there, or you can lift the foot that's on the floor off and grab behind the thigh and bring it in. So that's reverse pigeon, or third choice, y'all stay in pigeon or come out if you're feeling too much. I'm going to go one more just for the camera. Hopefully, can the camera see me? I'm going to move towards the end of my chair, and I'm going to show the other way to do pigeon, where I would hold on to the chair, move forward from my chest, keep my spine nice and long. Just going to wherever it feels comfortable. Maybe it's right upright. Okay, so for those of us on the floor, let's come back into table, which means we're going to push into those hands, bring both knees under the hips. And I'm going to demonstrate another way to get into sleeping pigeon. When the head's down on the ground, it's called a sleeping pigeon. We're going to move our hands, one hand forward. So this is another way. It doesn't have to be from down dog. I'm going to bring the left knee to the outside of my left wrist and then slide my other leg down behind. I want to play with a upright pigeon, which I don't like because of my lumbar issues. But if you do, keep that chest forward so you're not crunching those vertebrae. I've seen people with a horrible back bend. They're young, they'll wait till they're our age. And then find our way down. So we now know that there are other options for pigeon. And if you don't like any of those, if you will just kindly be kind to your body, just sit, close the eyes, and feel the breath in and out through the nose. And on our next inhale, we'll come up onto our arms. For those of us, we'll come out of it if we're on our back, or if we're in the chair, we'll come out of it. We're going to come into table. Table, knees are underneath. Can anybody not see me? Table, knees underneath our hips, hands spread like a starfish underneath our arms, and a little tension in the wrists. We're going to do a Chakravasana, which is a cow to child's pose. And as we inhale, we're going to press this chest forward, maybe gaze up a little bit. So we're pressing the chest. It creates a bend in our upper back. And as we exhale, we're going to drop down onto the forearms, draw in the lower abdomen, chin to chest, and come back towards our heels. And feel the stretch in the low back. Balasana is considered a resting pose, child's pose, very common pose for resting. And then let's inhale back up to table. And try that again. One inhale, press that chest forward. Exhale, come on back. And for some people, they can't quite get towards the heels, that's okay. You can always take a blanket. I'm just going to demonstrate. And place it back here just to support you, support the low back. I'm so glad that wasn't me. That happened to me Tuesday night. And last time, I like 3, inhale, a nice stretch, exhale, come on back. And let's bring those hands around to our feet. Letting the shoulders relax completely. We're gonna wiggle those fingers like we were waving at the ceiling. And then we'll bring those arms wide up and under our shoulders, press up. And walk the knees out to the side. Both legs out to the side, bring the legs around. And scoot. If you end up like at one end of the mat, you don't want to be off your mat. So I'm scooting towards the middle. And we're just gonna walk ourselves down to the floor. And it's okay to exhale with a sigh. Just let it go. Is this awesome or what? Let's keep the knees bent for a while to allow the back to really relax. While we're here, if anyone has any tension in their neck, you can gently rock the head from side to side, a nice slow no. What that does is it helps give us a little more length in the back of the neck. And for those that feel dizzy when they move their head, you just imagine tucking your chin in, tucking your chin back, and the crown of the head going towards the top of the mat. Let's take a nice, slow, comfortably deep inhale, and as we exhale, let's bring both knees in towards the chest. We place a hand on each shin. If it feels better, you can grab behind the thighs. We want to keep the elbows bent and close to the body. Just stretching out those thighs a little bit. Called Apanasana, or double wind relieving pose. And then maybe if it feels good, shifting your weight from side to side and give yourself a little back massage. You look kind of like my grandson does in a cannonball. Who could think such a little kid, he's 8, could make such a big splash on Nana? That's me. Just shifting, closing the eyes, staying in the body and noticing just how good it feels. And if it doesn't feel good, we find something else that feels better. Maybe just those feet on the floor, bent knees. Okay, so we'll pause in neutral with these bent knees and place our hands on the kneecap itself. We're going to inhale, we're going to open the knees wide. We'll circle them around till they're above the pelvis. Arms are straight. As we exhale, we're going to bring those knees into the chest. Inhale, we open wide and we circle back above the pelvis, arms are straight. Exhale, we bend the elbows, try not to pull on the knees. Use your core strength to bring those knees in. We circle maybe a couple more times. Lubricating that joint where the thigh meets the pelvis. Last one, we're going to stop with the arms straight. We're going to release one foot down. Going to keep the other leg bent. Going to grab behind the thigh. We're going to extend this leg up to the ceiling. We're going to hang on to the thigh. Next class, you might want a strap or a blanket or something if you really want to get it up higher, but you have to be very cautious with straps that you don't overstretch. That's why I like to use my whole body rather than props. We're going to go ahead and point and flex the foot. Nice and slow. Close the eyes if you're comfortable. Just feel the stretch. Cherishing those ankles, those feet that keep us grounded. We're standing up. And then maybe draw a little circle with the foot one way and reverse. The reason I suggested a bent knee is because it's easier on the low back. So the other leg is bent. Make sure it's not splaying out. Mine was starting to splay out. We'll do the other side with a straight leg unless that hurts your back. So I started with a modification with the bent knee. We're going to have this leg straight. We're holding on to it. It went up towards the ceiling. We're going to release our grip a little bit so it falls away just a bit. The bent knee is going to come in towards the midline of the body. We're going to direct our toe. It's our right leg that's up, or if it's your left leg, it'd be your left toe, the big toes. Direct them as if they were going down to the floor and bring that leg across the midline of the body. You're going to get a nice stretch along the outer edge of the leg, into the IT band perhaps. Again, we're not going all the way over. This is subtle. We'll inhale that leg back up to center. We're going to release the hands and we're going to bring the arms in close to the body, nice and tight and snug, palms on the mat. We're going to flex the foot of the raised leg. Nice, slow, deep inhale, and then really pull in that lower abdomen, and very slowly as you exhale, bring that heel down to the mat. When it touches down, you can let that leg totally relax, let the toes flop out to the side. This is a half corpse pose. Close the eyes, just notice how you feel. The toes are flopped out to the side. Let's bring them so that their toes are facing the ceiling. We'll bend that knee. We're going to exhale. Next exhale, bring the other bent leg. For me, it's my left. Grab behind the thigh, extend that leg to the ceiling to point and flex the foot. You do it with eyes open or closed. It's more relaxing with the eyes closed. When you're ready, or if you choose to, you can draw a little circle with the foot. It's like a little baseball on the ceiling. And reverse. May be more wobbly than a circle, but we're not judging, we're just noticing. Noticing that the other leg is bent, you can extend it long if that does not hurt your back. Flex the foot of the long leg, like the heel was pushing in the opposite direction towards the end of the mat. And let's release our grip a little bit or slide it down and let the leg not go as close to the torso as it was, just a little bit. And again, we're going to bend the toes towards the ground as we bring that leg across the midline of the body till we feel a sensation. May feel a little strange. Just send your exhale there. In your mind's eye. As long as there's no pain, if there's any pain, you just simply bring the leg more upright. Next inhale, let's bring that leg upright. We're going to flex the foot. We're going to bring the arms. We'll release them, bring them in close to the body. We'll take an inhale. It expands those ribs as we draw in the lower abdomen, and we exhale that heel slowly down to the mat. Let the whole body relax. Let the toes flop to the side. We roll the arms so the palms are up. And we are now in corpse pose, ready for Shavasana, final relaxation. If anybody's back is going out with their legs out long, simply rebend the knees. Maybe the feet a little wider, let the knees rest against each other. And let go. Turning all of our attention inward. Feeling the coolness of the inhale. No effort breath. Feeling the warmth of the exhale as it leaves. The resting breath. Maybe feeling a gentle rise and fall of the torso. This is our time to rest and let the body integrate all the movements made earlier. Imagine sending your exhale to the right foot. Fully aware of the right foot. No effort in that exhale, just see it going there. And then shifting that exhale to the left foot only. Feeling that exhale going out that foot relaxing completely. Shifting our awareness to the right leg. Feeling that inhale through the nostrils and sending our exhale out the right leg. Feeling that leg grow heavy and soften. Feeling the coolness of the inhale through the nose, no effort. Switching and sending your exhale to the left leg. Feeling the exhale out that leg, feeling it relax and soften. Feeling the inhale through the nostrils. And sending your exhale down the spine from where it connects to the brain to the very bottom of the tailbone. Imagining, feeling the exhale down the spine, feeling the spine simply soften. Feeling the inhale through the nose, exhaling down the right arm and feeling that exhale go out the right hand. Right arm, right hand, softening and growing heavy. Feeling the coolness of the inhale at the nose, and as we exhale, shifting and feeling that exhale down the left arm, feeling awareness of that left arm, left hand, relaxing completely. Inhaling through the nose and exhaling out the neck. Inhaling through the nose and feeling that exhale out the shoulders. Inhaling through the nose, exhaling out the scalp. Scalp relaxes, the jaw relaxes, the cheeks go soft, the forehead goes loose and lax. Beginning to feel the temperature in the room. Feeling the airflow across the skin. Hearing the sound of the music. Beginning to wiggle fingers and toes, making subtle movements to gently wake the body. Deepening the breath a little bit, just to your own comfort level. Whenever you're ready, if the legs are out long, bending those knees. And finding your way over to a comfortable fetal position, whichever side your body is calling you to. Knowing at this very moment, this now moment, that all is well. And we take our time, we softly open our eyes, and we gently transition to an upright, comfortable seated position, using perhaps our top hand, maybe the bottom elbow to press up. Okay, I invite you to join me in closing if you so wish, so desire. We'll place our open hands, palms up, beside us. Close our eyes for just a moment. Think about what we really want to add to our lives right now, right this moment. Maybe it's ease, maybe it's grace, maybe it's peace of mind, maybe it's health and well-being. Give me a second thought. Imagine holding that in your hands. It is your gift to yourself. And as we inhale, we'll raise those arms up above. We make the Anjali Mudra, the prayer hands, and as we exhale, we bring them to our heart space. We accept this gift. A bid farewell. Namaste. Thank you for sharing my practice. Thank you for joining me Zoom. Thank you for my live audience. I love you. I love you. Let's practice some virtual hugs. Thank you. Thank you. And have a wonderful, wonderful weekend.